Hello and welcome to VanillaTV. You know what it is, it's Admirable. I'm here with Greg. We got comedian too. It's all going off. What's happening, Greg?
Well, we are here, of course, for the ETF2L Season 13 Week 2 game of BFF versus Punchline. That's pretty much what's happening. Of course, there's another game going on in TF2 as well tonight, which is Deserter versus Nitros. You can actually check that out as well on Source TV, not as a VOD or anyone casting.
Wow, you're all business tonight, Greg. I was leaving it open for a little bit of banter, a little bit of casual chit-chat, but just straight down to business. This is very professional Season 13. Thank you, ETF2L. Greg, have you been preparing for this game? I have. I've done my homework, mate. I am so keen that I got BFF and Epsilon to play their warm-up PCW on the Crack Clan server, so I can share the logs. I'm going to put them in the Twitch chat. This will give you an idea of how these teams are performing right now, Greg. You've seen the logs, right?
Yeah, actually, I've seen one of them. I've not seen the second one quite yet. So, of course, it was Granary, I think. Are you pasting that in IRC for everyone else?
Yeah. Oh, deleted link. We can't share links in the chat. Is that it?
So, from what I could see from Granary, BFF pretty much dominated with kaidus doing loads of damage and the two scouts of Cookye and bybben, I think it is, working today, getting like over 30 frags apiece. So they were just doing a really good job of clearing up. That's pretty much what it felt like on that map, Ads. I don't know if you have any more insight into it.
Yeah, I actually missed that one. I was planning to watch both of them, but then I just cheated and looked at the logs, and yeah, it definitely seemed that way. I noticed, I feel Granary's a bit of a soldier map, and I noticed that Zebbosai, who is supposed to be the BFF carry soldier of the season and all that, he didn't have that good a game. He was sitting on 11 kills and 17 deaths, which isn't too great considering his team won 6-3. You would expect him maybe to break even. I'm not going to put too much weight into that though. These stats, they don't mean that much, do they, Greg?
No, not at all. It doesn't, the rocket soldier, the soldier jumping forward or getting forward dies. As long as everyone else comes in and clears up afterwards, it doesn't really matter that much.
Then on Gullywash, ended 3-3. Bearing in mind here actually that Epsilon are playing with a Merc. They are using Natural, who probably isn't a Premiership standard soldier. So take these results with a pinch of salt, but just an idea of how BFF are performing again. Kaidus with a big 10k damage there, as you would expect. And Cookye hitting all the shots, it seems. bybben not performing so well on that map, but definitely seems to be comfortable in the team, even though he is going to be murking tonight for bybben. That is interesting, considering what a carry bybben was against Epsilon in their Week 1 game. We casted that one, didn't we, Greg?
Yeah, indeed. You can actually check that out on the VODs, on our YouTube channel, which is VanillaTV.org, I think it is. For search youtube.com/VanillaTV.org. So do go back and check that week's game, because it was pretty amazing, BFF versus Epsilon, wasn't it, Ads?
Yeah, it was an awesome start to the season, and now we're into Week 2. It's going to be Gullywash again, and Granary, new map for Week 2. It's going to be sick. Getting a message here from Cookye. They're actually ready on the server, Greg, and we're busy talking crap. So you take it over and I'll tell them it's time to go.
Yeah, of course. So it's going to be Granary and then Gullywash tonight, guys. Me and Ad had a little talk about it beforehand, about who we thought would win each map. And personally, I think that Punchline are going to lose Granary. It's going to be a pretty big role for BFF, in my opinion. While it's quite soldier dominated and they're pretty even in soldiers, in my opinion. There, it's more going to be the difference between kaidus and Flinn, and kaidus is going to be so much quicker to mid than Flinn is, and we're going to have to see how Punchline develop that into their strategy, really. As for Gullywash, I think it's one of Punchline's favourite maps, so personally I think it's going to be a lot closer. It's also to slow it down a little bit more between the 2 points, and I think Punchline are more likely to do better on Gullywash. Ads, what do you think?
Greg, I disagree. I think that Granary is going to be Punchline's chance to really get their soldiers into the game, especially on middles. I feel like Captainhax and Tech are probably a better combo than Zebo and Darn. Yep, I said it. That's their big strength. Like you say, kaidus is just probably the fastest Demoman in the Prem. He was faster than Numlocked in their last game, and if he does get a chance to just ride roughshod over Flinn, that's going to be really tough for the scouts and soldiers to get into the game. But We'll see. I guess they did beat Epsilon 6-3 in their PCW, so I'm probably totally wrong, Greg, but that was just my initial hunch. And I have been told that both teams are ready up, so I'll say it in the next 30 seconds. We're going to go live, Greg. Who are you predicting to win this first map? Are you definitely going with BFF?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my guns, I think. Stick to my guns even, and go BFF. Going to take this. I reckon I'm going to get 6 rounds, either 6-3 or 6-2.
Well, Pognon, actually I should plug the French stream as well. Punchline TV are doing a French language stream. That's on own3d.tv/punchline. Check those guys out. You can also check Kaidus at twitch.tv/KaidusS with the extra S there. He's going to be streaming his live POV, I think, and it looks like we're going live here, Greg, so I will say hello and welcome to VanillaTV. This is Admirable with Greg and Comedian. We are here for the ETF2L Season 13 Premier Division Week 2 fixture. We got BFF facing off against Punchline. This is map 1, CP Granary. Take me to middle, Greg.
Yeah, Flinn's arriving bottom left relatively slowly. Kaidus going the right-hand side, so they're just trading stickies. Both scouts coming top. Not really much happening at the moment. There's kind of a scout duel. In come the soldiers, both just bombing forward. Kaidus takes down Flinn on the flank, so that demo man straight away making good work. But unfortunately, they still lose 3 players here. BFF in action. Punchline might come up on top here with the medical advantage and player advantage.
Yeah, it was great to see both sets of soldiers just clashing over that left side on the Punchline crates, but right now we see Zebbosai on the flank, picks up the med pack as Cookye comes in and takes down K3. Nice link up there. Oh wow, Flippy and Plapla are just going to clean up though. Those scouts so lethal. That's just Premiership scouting there, staying alive right to the end, Greg, and cleaning up.
Yeah, indeed. It felt like Punchline didn't really do a good job of having their medic advantage and forcing, the door, forcing at the choke points and kind of just let BFF back in for free. And as such, Cookye and Zebbosai did as much as they could and took down the medic. Perfect, really, from their point of view.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if Zebbosai did any damage. He didn't get an assist, at least. I know TF2 can be cruel that way, but he was definitely a distraction there. Everyone didn't know exactly where to look, and in came Cookye, doing big damage. Seems to be holding up alright without bybben so far. Obviously, as we said in the pre-game, guys, Bybben is standing in as a merc here for BFF tonight for the Mercurial. The unbelievable bybben, actually. Oh, look at this 6 soldier hiding spot right there from Tech, hiding up on the lamp, drops down on to the BFF combo. Almost got Mirelin there. He was on half health, but he's starting to regen already, and it looks like they're going to be able to take this point without any further contention. It's going to be Uber versus Uber here in the yard. This is Granary. This is Stalemate City, Greg.
That was the perfect push, really, from BFF there. They just used that Uber advantage just to force their way in and get the free as they're pushing straight into yard here. Equal Ubers, but they lose Don straight away. He was trying to get the force out. Kaidus comes in, takes a lot of damage, does force a multi. So I think BFF might actually be able to come out on top here, especially with Captainhax down as Kaidus jumps away. Flinn comes out, but Tech goes down, so Punchline are going to have to back out here, Admirable.
Yeah, and again, a nice push from BFF. Just really brave with their Ubers, pushing forward. Mirelin got his finger on that Uber trigger, but he's not going to pop. He just has balls of steel, and right now it's Cookye against Flippy, but K3 is not there to heal Flippy throughout the start of that fight, and now he's put himself at a really horrible position. He's going to get pistoled down by Cookye. Just both players there from Punchline not on the same wavelength.
Yeah, it was just a really, really weird call. I'd have preferred just to back out, even if it's Scout Medic versus Scout Medic, that can happen and you can be absolutely screwed over by it. And we're going to see BFF just try and force their way in on the left, get Darn in, trying to get some picks, but he gets sniped, counter-sniped by Flippy. So BFF do lose 2 players as they're about to get Uber here, so they're going to have to wait a little bit before they push him, but of course they do have, an 80% advantage as it is now.
Yeah, imagine they're just going to push as soon as Darn spawns. Although they probably have a good handle on that Uber percentage. And look at this, Flippy is trying to be a hero, peeks in on the left, now he's going to face 2 scouts, puts himself and Plapla in danger. And the Uber's already in, Greg.
Yeah, it's not really doing very much there. They went left-hand side. They do get a couple of kills thanks to Zebbosai's bomb, and this Uber advantage in keeping their players up is just paying off at the moment. Captainhax gets a couple, but it doesn't matter, they don't block the point. Nice push there from BFF, really capitalising straight away off losing the middle, and brilliant play.
Yeah, I was going to say before the round started that Pognon asked me for some predictions for the French coverage, and I suggested that this map was going to finish in a 5-3 or 5-4 golden cap to Punchline, so so far not looking that way. Hopefully Punchline can equalise, but we're back at another middle here. Both demo men playing on the floor, but Flinn coming in from that right side, he's got the cover of his soldiers there, and now the Punchline aggression comes in. It's the soldiers who are making their way onto the point, but they're pretty much totally alone, very exposed to those scouts right there, and both of them have gone down. Tech and Captainhax just not synchronized with their team. There was no real presence on the point from Punchline, and they were just sort of standing there like sitting ducks, really, Greg.
Yeah, I completely agree. Plapla tried to make a play onto kaidus, eventually got him down, but it was like, 5 seconds too late. If they went in, if they had got him in there 5 seconds earlier, it would have been much better. But of course, BFF by that point had cleared up so many frags. They're going to push straight in, slight player advantage at the moment. Punchline playing really far back, so they're just going to give up yard for free. As BFF look like that, he's going to push straight down the left-hand side here, Admirable.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of teams pushing from that left side, especially when you have that sniper threat of Flippy. Obviously, you're not going to see that on middle, but it's just a good habit to get into, to always push left, because you've got the cover and you don't really have to face the defensive combo if you go that way, and you still have the option to push back on the right. But now they are probing through that garage and trying to find an angle, trying to get the attention of the French players who are sitting in the defensive stance right now. They're trying to just force an error here, force someone to overextend and get that pick so they don't even have to use the Uber initially when they push. But right now it looks like they're getting ready to go. kaidus is going to drop off this crate. He has been Ubered by Mirelin. He goes in, gets the force instantly. There's no soldier here from BFF to jump behind, and there's actually a scout from Punchline waiting there for such a play. Darn tries to make a play on the flanks actually, and Beaver, and they go down to Tech with that scout combo as well. And the flanks have just been dominated by Punchline. This is going to force the push out, I hope, from Punchline onto middle, Greg.
Yeah, I was watching that bit from Tech for a while before it all, all the frags went down, and he was playing it really, really smart. As the BFF are just getting pushed straight back here. Punchline barreling down that right hand side with a scout trying to get into kaidus. They do take him down. Really nice pick from Plapla. As a scout, Cookye comes in and trades for Flinn, so that means both demos down. And another scout, of course, bybben trying to come in as well. But they're just losing so many players here at Admirable. When do they want to give up this point as they lose all 6 of them?
Yeah, I'm putting this down to just sort of initial nerves. They're sort of feeling each other out, testing the waters here, and yeah, they definitely knew they shouldn't have been in that position, but they thought they'd give it a go anyway. I don't think they're going to make that mistake again, or at least I hope they don't. If we want to set an example for all those noobs watching right now. If you have just joined, this is VanillaTV. We cover competitive Team Fortress 2. This is 6v6, and this is the European Premier Division. This is the best of the best. Right now, we have Captainhax for Punchline, Ubering in with his demo man Flinn and his medic Custom 3. They pick up Mirelin straight away. He was just positioned right on the point there, an easy pick for them. And now they are drawing the attention of the BFF players onto that right flank, while our scouts push in and just clean up. That's going to be 1-1. My golden cat prediction is looking good already, Greg.
That was a really, really nice push through top, making sure they just used the Uber advantage as well as they could. Mirelin got a little bit caught out, as you saw, kind of just got juggled into pillars and obviously went down, and from there just collapsed completely from BFF as we're going back onto another middle. There, yeah, kaidus going normal bottom left. Where is Flinn going? He's going bottom left, but 2 seconds slower. He's going to take a big sticky. In fact, kaidus misses, so this might be a good middle from Punchline. As they're starting to barrel forwards, a nice pipe from Flinn.
Oh!
In comes a jumping soldier, gets destroyed and pushed back. But here comes the second one. That is Zebbosai. Is he going to go down? Air shot from Captainhax. See you later. As they're trading players, and actually bybben gets a couple of good frags, and it looks like BFF should pick this up.
kaidus just whiffed a triple air there. He juggled the Flinn up with one pipe, hit him with the second, but missed the third. I almost creamed my pants, and bybben came in on the flanks. But wow, that was really on a knife edge for a bit there. Flinn hit a sweet sticky onto Cookye just at the start of that middle, hit him down to 5 HP, but he managed to survive for a little longer. But I thought maybe Punchline were going to take it, but somehow they managed to sort of fumble that one there, Greg. You see Flippy sniping on last.
And he's trying to get that one shot really quickly, but unfortunately he has to back straight out. And I think they'll probably go top here, BFF. In fact, they're just going to come through left. They have to Uber really, really early here at Admirable, and they're wasting so much of it already just to get in. Cookye does take down Plapla. They've got really far in. Darn goes down. Flinn goes down. No demo man left alive. Tech's in behind. Should be going down now as well. Yes. And it's kind of just 2 players, Captainhax and Flippy, left up for Punchline, as they're trying to get a couple of frags, and they do. It's now 2 versus 3. The medic's still there. Captainhax is going to go down, and that's the round.
Well, I feel like obviously Punchline wanted to stay back as soon as they recognised BFF had Ubered, but by going right into spawn, they almost put themselves at a disadvantage. They forced themselves into those little choke points. There's a lot of room where you can sort of dodge around on the point. Obviously losing Plapla right at the start of that push wasn't going to help, but I think they could have done a little bit better, but Captainhax couldn't quite make it. You can check out his interview on ETF2L.org, by the way, but we're back on another middle here. And Flinn has eaten another sticky, served straight from kaidus. They're actually in even health right now. And kaidus keeps moving to his right side and trying to get that pick on Flinn. And again, he's done that. Did it on the first middle. Huge plays from kaidus, just dominating this demo man fight. And now allowing BFF to stream in on that right side, Greg. They're going to cap this point pretty easily.
Yeah, all that like pressure is just keeping Punchline stuck in that corner as well. It's not just Flinn in that corner kaidus is damaging, it's the whole team, and it makes it so easy for the rest of the players to come in as they're trying to push Captainhax back, and he gets dropped! Oh no, that's not a good Uber from K3 at all. They're not going to be able to force Mirelin's. There is the cop, actually. They do just about force it, but it's not really going to matter as they're getting stuck. The second point isn't quite capped yet, and there's a heavy out there now as the Uber is fading. So Punchline might be able to do something here at Admirable.
Oh, big play from Plapla there. Just drops down from the pipe, picks up Mirelin, gets taken down by bybben, but it's too late now. Punchline have the heal advantage here. They might be able to push out with that heavy weapons guy, but they're definitely not going to lose anytime soon. Although we do see Captainhax going up top, picking up Darn there. Solo effort, one-on-one. And bybben's peeking on the right side, but it looks like Punchline are going to cap this. Darn giving away an easy frag. They're just allowing them to come in with really little problem at all.
Yeah, Cookie's actually up top behind at the health pack on second at the moment as well.
Oh, check out what Mirelin's running. It's the crits, Craig, baby.
You do love that crits, don't you, Admirable? As Cookie does get picked up.
I mean, it's a good option here from Mirelin because the sort of meta game, he understands that Punchline are pretty much always going to have to Uber when they push in here, although they haven't Ubered yet. And Captainhax, brave play from K3, he hasn't popped that Uber yet, and they're pushing them all the way back here. This Uber decision from Mirelin might turn out to be a bad one. It's going to be crits against Uber here. They haven't managed to get that force off, but kaidus is going to just pop it off anyway, and right now it's Flinn trying to do damage here, but he isn't in a position to get any frags, and it's actually kaidus who picks up Captainhax. So Crits Creed comes out on top against Uber. You don't see that too often, Greg.
No, not at all, but they played it really, really well as we're seeing them push back into middle now, of course, with that pick onto Captainhax. Just trying to keep Mirelin alive. Cookie does go down to Flinn, and K3 is just going to back right out, and they're going to pick up middle and a Crits Creed advantage here, Admirable. But like, that was just such smart play. They came in just to force it, and then fell back out, and kaidus just spammed stickies everywhere because he knew they would want to try and come in aggressive with the Uber. And of course, K3 can't keep, you know, both Flinn and Captainhax Ubered the whole time when Captainhax jumped top, and there's the frag that they needed. Brilliant play.
Yeah, and great discipline there from the BFF players as they pushed back to middle. Didn't lose a single player. Like, I saw actually, just at a point there, Zebbosai was standing on top of the crate, spamming the medic. Like, a lot of players would have just dropped down there and tried to go for the kill, but he just stayed up top, stayed alive, and they were able to push ahead easily. They managed to force the Uber here with their crits, and they've only lost Cookie. He's going to be spawning in the next 4 seconds. bybben goes down as well, but this is a great situation for BFF. They've got that crit advantage. Although Punchline know about it, they've lost the element of surprise. There's still plenty they can do to utilise this. We're probably going to see some sort of distraction play where they maybe bomb a soldier in on one side and then come in with that crits demo man on the other. But right now, Captainhax is making the call here. He's saying, like, don't wait for them to get crits, just push non-Ubered. And they're trying to make a play here. They need to get more time on that point, but they got to be aware that the crits is coming in. 95%. Gonna be crit rockets in, and immediately first kill comes in from Zebbo, picks up Flinn and Plapla. That's a brace for him. Can't get the hat-trick, but they're gonna recap this point and then push on to last. 5 players down for Punchline now, right now, Greg. Only Tech remains. This is surely gonna be a cap.
Yeah, indeed, and they're just going to get their scouts straight on it. So, of course, the push out from Punchline with the decision there that they made. Would you have done that, Admirable? Would you have preferred to play aggressive sort of thing as the crits came in? How would you have played being on last there?
Yeah, I think it was a pretty decent call, you know, because everybody knows how that's going to play out. It's like they have the crit advantage, they have a big opportunity, so you can just take it out of their hands by pushing in unexpected. It seemed that the push wasn't quick enough. They were in, but Captainhax was looking behind for the rest of his team to come and support him. I think maybe there was just a little bit of hesitation there. It was a good call, just didn't work out for them that time. They were probably up against it anyway, and again, Flinn taking big damage here. kaidus is on pretty much full health as Flippy gets forced down because Flinn just isn't able to deny the scouts and soldiers from BFF because he's taken so much damage so early on in that middle fight, and this is just going to be so instrumental throughout these 2 maps, I think, Greg.
Well, he must have messed something up on that rollout because kaidus had 5 stickies before Flinn went in. Like, he literally fired 5 stickies, so that's how long it took them to get there. And actually, Flinn gets killed straight away as in come BFF. That means K3's dropped him unless he didn't really want to Uber. But
there's a scout on K3 right now. You see Cookie standing there, by the way, if you're wondering what's going on the stream. I'm not lagging out, am I, Greg?
You lagged a little bit then, yeah, but it's your mumble that was not. It's all paused, so do not worry.
Am I doing the robot? Uh-oh.
No, it's gone now, I think, so you're fine. So yeah, Cookye, of course, coming in on K3, but I think K3 is going to have to pop the Uber anyway. Just him and Captainhax alive, they both need to get out, so... But I don't think it's really going to matter at this point. BFF look like they've got this round in the bag, in my opinion. You know, with so many quick kills there, they'll be able to cap second relatively easily and just push straight on.
Yeah, Greg, I understand we are actually on the front page of twitch.tv right now, thanks to our lovely friends at Twitch. What up, John? So if you've just joined us, this is Competitive Team Fortress 2. This is VanillaTV, baby. You're with Admirable and Greg on the cast. We've got Comedian on the stream. Comedian's actually running at 45 FPS tonight, so give us your feedback on that as well. Right now, we do see a pause in the game, but this is the first map of ETF2L's Premier Division Week 2 fixture of BFF against Punchline. Basically, BFF probably predicted to finish number 2 this season. Captainhax gets dropped as well as we go into the game again. The pause has finished. K3 pops off his Uber, but not in time to save his player. He just dropped Demo and Soldier, and that is pretty bad in TF2.
But it just straight up lost them last even harder. It would have been hard anyway, but that was ridiculous. How can you drop both Demo and Soldier in Prem Admirable?
Yeah, I've never dropped anyone. I don't understand, Greg. See, I play Medic too, but I just don't make mistakes. Crack Clan for number 1. And right now, we're going to be going to another middle, but the score is 4-1. As it seems Greg's prediction is coming into fruition. No golden cap for me. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a roll. Punchline really falling apart against the might of BFF and onto another middle. It's actually Punchline losing 4 players instantly. Such damage coming in from Kaidus and the Scouts, just as we saw in their warm-up PCW against Epsilon on those logs, Greg. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, indeed. And actually, they're getting a couple of frags back here, as I hope I'm not lagged out too much because you called something before I'd seen it. But yeah, they do actually manage to pick it up. They lose their medic, of course, and just Flinn left alive. But like Kaidus, he went right, and he was still quicker than Flinn was. And Flinn went, lower left, which is effectively the quickest route to middle. So that was a bit weird from my point of view, and Kaidus just keeps winning them these middles, Admirable.
Yeah, we just see a flurry of chat there on the server. I know you can't see it on the stream, but that was about the pause if you're watching an STV. Right now, Greg, it's looking pretty grim for Punchline. Like you say, we sort of talked about this in the pre-game, that the demo battle was going to be the most influential, and that's just sort of the way that TF2 plays out. We do actually see Crits Krieg again here from Mirelin, but that initial demo battle really can determine how middle is going to play out, and it's not necessarily a bad thing if your demo man's slower. Like, look at Byte, he was always slower than most other demo men at the top level, and he still managed to play smart. The crit stalls come in though, and straight away Flinn goes down. That's no demo here, and K3 is backing off onto last year. He's got the cover of Captainhax. He manages to take out Kaidus, a big crossbow bolt as well actually. Captainhax versus the world here. Plapla is here to help him out as well, but Beaver and Cookye, they don't miss many meat shots, Greg.
They definitely don't, and as you can see now 5-1, a really nice crit swap with Admirable. We didn't really talk about it too much, but obviously both medics went down at middle. That swap means you build it faster, come in, hit the crit screen. They got the demo man down, and then kind of all just knew that they should just bomb forward and make sure they get that medic kill before he gets Uber. So Kaidus and Dan both jumped in, and that kill, really made it. And Flynn's actually deciding not to roll out quickly, I don't think. He's rolling out bottom left really slowly this time. So Kaidus is going to be there much earlier, as we see a lot of scout damage really at the moment. Soldiers now bombing in from both teams. Cookye goes down on the flanks, that's looking good. BFF are kind of stuck in their own ramp, and they're looking like they want to fall out as they're trying to get Zebbosai to medic.
They're coming in top of the crits now. It's Kaidus and Mirelin. Big sticky onto Flinn, second sticky onto Custom 3. Those are the 2 picks you want. Demo and medic down in middle. Nice crits right there from BFF, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely great spot. I didn't even think it was going to be that. As in comes Flippy, taking down Zebbosai 1-on-1 while Zebbosai was fully buffed and had a medic. He's now trying to take down K3 as well. In comes Kaidus, so Flippy might try and play this a little bit more smart, as he's just going to run into stickies and go down, unfortunately. So still a nice play, and it's going to be crits advantage still for Mirelin.
Yeah, no respect for Mirelin there, running the crits onto middle. Maybe it was just one of those situations where he had it in the previous round and didn't have time to switch, but yeah, it worked out pretty well for them. I just saw them sitting back, Greg, and I was like, wow, this isn't like BFF. Quick check, Mirelin. Saw that crits, Greg. It was time to rock, man. And right now, they have that crit advantage almost at 100%. And K3 sitting on 70% with that Uber. He's in a dangerous position, man. If I'm playing medic, I am standing well outside that door because one sticky can fly past and kill you in the blink of an eye. And here comes that crit streak. They're going to lead with the soldier. That instant damage of the rocket launcher. Zebbosai and kaidus pick up Captainhax there, and they're just going to cap the point. They're not going to overextend here. They're not going to walk into any sticky traps. They're going to put the ball into Punchline. If they want to push, they can do it. But BFF are going to be waiting for them. But they get a frag actually. Tech goes down, and they're just going to push off that now. They've got a big man advantage here with 2 players down. That's 6 on 4. The bowman from Darn is a little over eager, but he does get that Uber force, and that's going to initiate the fallback BFF. This is pretty smart TF2 all round, Greg.
Kaidus is jumping in for last as well, going one-on-one versus the soldier. Flippy's coming back in his one piper ball, but does manage to jump away from that, and they're going to cap back 2. Really, really nice play eventually. And actually in comes the crits and Zed, and there's lots of stickies there. Soldier has to fall right back due to that, and they're not really getting anything at the moment. Zebbosai does pick up Plapla, but it's an exchange for Cookye, and Mirelin goes down. Wow, they managed to hold on to that brilliantly, their Punchline.
I think Zebbosai had a temporary moment of blindness there. He looked like Stevie Wonder was playing soldier. Came in firing off rockets left and right. I don't know what he was aiming for there, but he just wanted to find those crit hits. Didn't manage to happen, and maybe this could be a turning point, Greg. There still is 10 minutes left on the clock. That's enough time for 4 rounds, but against the team of BFF's caliber, you'd have to wonder if that's possible at this stage of the game. What do you think? Is a comeback possible, Greg? Nah.
Of course it is, of course it is. We'd love to see it at Admirable, wouldn't we? And of course, it's looking that way at the moment. Punchline, you know, they've got a little bit of momentum. They've got the Uber advantage now. Mirelin swapped back to normal Uber, but he's near, 60% now. By the time they get in and cap the point, if BFF just fall out and build this, they'll have enough to get back in, I think. So we'll have to see what they try and do. And it looks like they'll bomb a soldier and try and force K3. They do force it out. They lose 2 players because of it. And now let's see how Mirelin and BFF decide to play this. Of course, an Uber advantage on their own too. Will they get forced, or are they just going to back out? It looks like they're just going to back out here at Admirable.
Yeah, they're going to stall out for those spawns. Darn and Cookye will be back in the game in 4 seconds. And they've kept their eyes off the yard actually, and that's allowed Captainhax to sneak in here. Picks up bybben. I'm not sure if that's a great trade, but right now they are positioned in the garage. If that gets called, like, if they realise that they're in the garage, BFF can just go in and crush them here. And actually, the Uber gets forced off by Flinn. Yeah, Greg. What's happening in the yard?
That's really, really strange at the moment. And somehow these Punchline players that are behind, these 2 scouts, are still alive. There's a soldier there as well. K3 goes down eventually, and that really weird play unfortunately doesn't work out for Punchline. It would have been pretty cool though, Admirable, if it had worked.
Yeah, I think they were just banking on that BFF wouldn't call them or wouldn't spot them, wouldn't figure out, but they had to know they had this big Uber advantage. I mean, really, what's the smart thing to do? Oh, back cap on right now, Greg. Who's there? Who's going to block it?
Soldier versus Scout. Darn manages to go down, in fact, so that means that Flippy's going to get the back cappy. There was a player there, sorry to cut across you there, Admirable. And that means Flippy's going to cap last. It's 5-2. I don't think anyone's going to spawn and block that, as I call it, like a few seconds too early. Really, really great play from Flippy, actually, with the back cap and taking down Darn one-on-one on the second point.
Greg, you never have to apologise to me, man. This is the real battle. People think TF2 is a battle, but no, it's the battle for control of the mic here on VanillaTV. And you were well within your rights there. That was a big play from Flippy, and something that I think the Punchline scouts are pretty well known for. Their back cap and their team play. Right now, kaidus again, all over Flinn. He walks into that second sticky. He's super low. He's pretty much out of the middle right now. It's up to the soldiers and the scouts of Punchline to try and make something happen, but already Tech goes down. Totally denied by bybben there. No chance to jump in and fulfill that roamer role. And right now, K3 is backing out. He's making the call to the rest of his team to get out. How many players can they save? Will this be a total train wreck? They managed to get out with 3, and that should be enough to hold last. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to hold second at this rate, though. There is a scout pushing ahead, though. bybben has balls of steel. He's going to push up against this Flippy here. He is getting the buff. He's trying to beat him out. He's trying to force him into a situation where the rest of his team can come and pick him. But he's too smart. He's going to back off. And Captainhax is thinking about Ubering in here. I think he's really close to the door. He wants to push in. He wants to go and force a multi-Uber against his single Uber. But now he's just going to chill out. He's got Flinn now in support, and it looks like things are going to stabilise as both teams try and find picks on the flanks, Greg.
Yeah, indeed. And if you're BFF now, would you park the bus? 3 rounds up, 7 minutes remaining.
Yeah, I probably would, but I'm not sure if BFF think that way. I'm sure they just feel that they're in the driving seat. They're comfortable here. They want to keep them in and go for the next map.
Sorry about Punchline just out on the left-hand side. It's not going well whatsoever for them at the moment. They've picked up nothing. Mirelin's not Ubered, and in fact they lose Tech on the flank. Cookye goes down for Plapla, and it's going to look like BFF are going to pick this up at the moment. Flippy does manage to take down Darn, but there's the Uber trigger. They just need to search for the rest of the frags and keep their players alive, and it looks like that's what they're going to be able to do here at Admirable. Actually, Flippy goes 1-on-1 versus Beav, and Mirelin doesn't manage to Uber him in time, as I'm like running out of breath here at Admirable.
There was a little bit of a one-on-one there between Zebo and K3 in the garage. Zebbosai whiffed all his shotguns. K3 got an Uber. He just backed off, reloaded his rocket launcher, and took that Frenchman down. No honour there, no honour in online games. But anyway, kaidus fights on to last there, manages to take down the last Punchline player, and that's going to be 6-2 in favour of BFF with 6 minutes 30 seconds left on the clock. If you've just joined us, this is VanillaTV covering the ETF2L Premier Division Week 2 fixture between BFF and Punchline. Things are looking grim for Punchline as we go to another middle. Greg.
Yeah, indeed. It looks Flinn is completely locked out on that right-hand side at the moment, so they're going to have to try and work with that. kaidus doing a good job. He does take quite a lot of damage, so we're just going to bomb onto him as we're losing players, actually, BFF at the moment. Flippy does manage to take down Darn. Zebbosai goes down, and K3 does survive, so that means both medics are alive. Mirelin, of course, getting out now as well. And it's going to be, you know, Uber v Uber, in fact, on this second point as income Punchline. They're trying to force them straight out here at Admirable. Really nice play so far.
Yeah, Flinn the only casualty so far, and K3 is ready to pop. kaidus putting in big damage. He's going to go single Uber. He picks up that soldier. That's exactly what you got to do in those Uber battles. Finds that unubered player and takes him down. Now Punchline at a man disadvantage. But they are going to... Looks like they're going to cap the point as BFF try and regroup, get the heals in, and in comes that wave of damage. Sticky draining in from kaidus rockets and scatter shots. All onto that point. Captainhax focused down in an instant. Flinn is back in the game now, having respawned. He finds Zebbosai in the corner, but opts not to chase down that frag and backs out to middle. This is probably the smart decision, but already kaidus is jumping in. He's going to pick up Flinn here. He's separated him from K3. He is doomed to be in that spawn queue in the next few seconds. bybben finishes him off, sends him there to the sin bin. And right now, wow, Mirelin serves a sick rocket as Tech tries to just scrape something back there for Punchline, but BFF are just in control right now, Greg.
Yeah, indeed. And Flippy's actually sniping in spawn, but it doesn't really matter as BFF wise to that sort of play, and they're going to push through the left-hand side and push straight round through garage, straight onto the point. Don't think anybody even knows about it yet. The Uber does get forced by a scout behind. Nice play from Plapla.
K3 goes down.
Oh, he did die, and Flippy goes down as well. Soldier coming into Z, trying to get some frags down, but unfortunately, he's not going to happen. And it's, you know, 5 versus 3. One player just spawning, of course, from BFF, and they're going to straight onto last here. Plapla, can he come up with anything? Does take down kaidus. Now he's going to come back and try and take this scout as well. Tech takes down one on the other side at the same time. Can they hold on to this Admirable? I don't think they can, and 7-2.
Wow, that is going to be all she wrote, Greg. So, I'm going to go on to a second map here, guys. It's going to be CP Gullywash, but I will ask Greg who his man of the map was. Can you even pick one out? Was it too much of a role?
It was quite a role, but like the difference between kaidus and Flinn just in itself makes me just want to pick kaidus. Just like he won his team so many middles alone, so I'm gonna have to pick kaidus for that. What about you, Admirable?
We'll give it to our boy Jason Allen. You know, he was just strong there, going in and dominating Flinn. Not even just doing the damage, but going for the kill so often. He was just ruthless. We'll quickly promote. Check out VanillaTF2.org. That's our main hub. You can find the match ticker, all that stuff there. We got IRC, #VanillaTV, and IRC.quakenet.org. Facebook.com, that's /VanillaTV.org. We've got a rebranded Twitter. That's at Twitter. We are now at VanillaTV, no longer VanillaTV.org. On YouTube, we're youtube.com /VanillaTV.org, and on steam.community.com /groups /VanillaTV. You can join our Steam group there, and on Twitch you're already there, baby. Just click that follow button and you will be doing us big favours and competitive TF2 in general. I will say this has been Admirable. You've been Greg, and we've had Comedian on the stream for this first map. Stay tuned for the second one. This has been VanillaTV. Stay tuned for more. I think we're going to a quick